Well, thank you everyone for being here. This is really exciting for Pro Golf Gals, our first ever, what are we calling it, Dee? We haven't decided.
I think we should call it a chat with Pro Golf Gals and get yourself a glass of wine because it's 5 o'clock.
Have you got time? Has everyone got time to go and get a glass of wine? I've got a G&T.
No,
I didn't have any wine. Sorry, yeah, Ken, I know how much you love wine. Next time we'll have a glass of wine.
That's right. I'm in my wine cellar here. I'm fine.
You could get a glass for everybody, Ken. All right. Okay.
Okay. Who would like to take this away? Who had the fairway bunker shot?
Oh, actually, that was Janelle who couldn't make. Why don't we'll start with hers because hers was a good question. Everyone's questions were great, we thought, but Janelle's questions. She's a member at Mona Vale, and she said, "I was recently playing at Mona Vale, and where unlike Manly, there are a number of she's a member at Manly. There are a number of low greenside bunkers. At Manly, we have ginormous deep greenside bunkers. The question is, how do I get out of low greenside bunkers without sending the ball flying over the back of the green? Do I hit it hard and take lots of sand, or hit it soft and take little sand, or something else?"
If you are a reasonably good bunker player anyway, you just play your normal shot. You don't start trying to do something fancy and just take a little bit of sand or no sand. What I'm saying to you is play your normal bunker shot. Don't try to be fancy, and you'll notice it'll go the same height and get out. So if you've got a deep bunker, it's going to get out. The shallower bunker, it's still going to get out. Stick to the same. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Do what you're already good at.
The thing with the bunker shot is that it's got a lot of loft on your sand wedge, so you really have no choice but to play a high lofted shot. So you can't really play a lower short shot using a proper bunker technique anyway. So it's just simple. Just play the same shots everywhere you are. Peter.
After some good coaching from Dee, dropped my handicap a couple of shots. And so what's the approach now? So like the mental approach as well as the practice play. So without sort of putting too much expectation on myself like that. But I really do want to play to that new lower handicap the best I can.
So adjusting to the new handicap, Peter, basically.
Yeah, so I've come down a couple of shots. Yeah. And
congratulations. What handicap are you on now?
Yeah, so 4.4.
Well, that's a decent handicap. Dennise must be a good coach, is she?
She's a top coach.
Yes.
She's amazing.
I only take good people. But my suggestion to you is this, and it really makes no difference if we've come down to 4 or we've dropped from 45 to 43 or 44. The point is to stick to the same routine. Don't get into the habit, and I see this happening a lot. People, as soon as they drop a shot, they go, "Oh my God, now on this hole, I don't get 2 shots now. I don't, or for you, I don't get any shots here now." So they start panicking, they raise their expectations, they put the pressure on themselves saying, "Okay, now I've got to get a par on this hole to get 2 points. Or I'm getting no shots." So the point is just to stick to the same routine. I know it sounds really corny. Stick to the same routine, play each shot as it comes, and try and take the tension and the stress and the expectations off. Just play the game of golf. Like, you're down on that handicap because you can manage it.
Mm-hmm. And so, stay in the moment.
I know that may not be the answer you wanted. Sorry, Annie, off you go.
No, I was just to say, stay in the moment and not think too much about what shots you're getting on what holes. Knowing where you get your shots, I think, is fatal in golf anyway, because, if you're off 19 and there's only one hole on the course that you get 2 shots, you're going to put so much pressure, this is the hole I get, it's just not good for your golf. So you've got to try and play one shot at a time anyway. But as you get better, you've got to practice more, haven't you? You've got a better standard to maintain, haven't you? So unfortunately, as you get better, you've got to practice more to maintain it. And probably short game, I would say, is where you would find the most effect or the best benefit.
So I think that's probably how I did get down a bit. So, from 7 or 6 or 7, 8, sort of down a little bit lower.
Yes, I just wondered, first of all, do you want to take a divot? And I think you do. But does it depend on the type of grass, the type of club, whether you've got enough club head speed to justify the divot, all of those things. So where do you take a divot and what does it depend on?
Okay, Dee, you take it away while I share my screen here.
Okay.
So high tech.
It's very important. We must bruise the ground no matter what. So if I've got a fairway wood or I'm just going to be bruising the ground, if I'm on the driver and I've got the teed up, I'm hitting it on the upswing. But you always need to press the ball. You always need to take a divot, especially with irons. You don't want to dig your way down to hell, but you must damage the ground. Like, he's very strong, so you're taking, oh, that's a big divot.
And this is also a wedge, Dee. This is a pitching
you
wedge.
tend to take bigger divots with your wedges because your club is on its way down, so your club is hitting the ball before it hits the ground, so it's still descending. Little chip shots, you're going to take little divots, not big ones. If you're on really hard ground, like if you're playing, I don't know, like some of the courses that get in summer, like New South Wales, the Dune, the ground gets very hard. You're going to really hurt yourself if you take a divot that size. So there, you still got to bruise the ground. You still got to hit down, but it's going to be not such a deep divot. When you're playing on softer ground or really cushioned fairways like you have on the north side, you'll tend to take a bigger divots. But ladies, I'm not being sexist here, but we sometimes have a problem in that we don't want to take divots because we're scared of hurting our hands. We don't want to mess up the beautiful ground. But ladies, we have to. Men take divots, so we've got to learn to take some divots as well. And hitting down doesn't mean your entire body going down. It's just that club goes up, it comes back down.
And would you say, Dee, the more loft you have on the club, the deeper the divot generally is going to be? And on your fairway woods, your hybrids, that sort of thing, you're going to take a more shallow divot, aren't you?
Yes.
All right.
I was just wanting to know, do you have any advice about playing versus practice? So, how many rounds do you should be playing versus practice rounds or actually practice? Any thoughts?
Good question.
Well, yes, great question. We love this one, don't we, Dee? We kind of go on and on and on about how little practice the average golfer does. If you've heard any of our recent videos, you've heard us go on about the pros practice a lot more than they play, and the amateur plays a lot more than they practice. And we're not suggesting you're going to need to be like the pros, but if you could up the amount of practice you do in relation to the amount of games you have, if you play comp all the time and don't practice at all, it's like you're putting your game under pressure all the time, and no game can really stand that. So we were saying the pros will practice, play, and put it under pressure. Practice, play. Whereas the amateurs go play. Most amateurs don't practice anywhere near enough to improve their game.
Practice isn't always just on the range or on the
having a 9-hole session
area
every week, at least one 9-hole session a week where you are not scoring, is so good. Who has at least one 9-hole session a week where they don't score? They just throw a few balls down, practice around the greens. Hands up. Hands up anyone that does that once a week.
Yep.
Linda, good. One.
I have.
Susan, Mark.
Good.
Michelle.
I do.
How many comp rounds do you all play? Who plays 2 a week? Hands up.
I play once, sometimes twice.
Anyone play 3 comps a week? I'm talking normally, not coronavirus time.
Yeah.
No.
I do.
3 or 4 for
I
me.
normally play 2.
3 or 4 for me.
And Linda, you're a good golfer. You're a low handicap. How much practice do you do a week?
Probably 3 times.
So go to the range 3 times?
3 or 4 times game. Range, course, all over the place. I practice differently. I don't like to do the same practice. I like to come at it from different directions.
Yeah, that's good.
Very
That's good. And what's your handicap, Linda?
4.
So that's everyone. That's how you get to 4, practicing and playing. So if you're playing 3 rounds of comp a week, you should be having at least 3 to 4 to 5 sessions of some sort of practice. Even if it was just half an hour with practicing your putting, half an hour chipping
Take
around.
long just to go to the range for an hour. Doesn't, that's...
Go to the range for an hour.
I'm off 30, right? And today I played and I had a 31. But out of that 31, I had 4 pickups and 3 pars. And what I'm saying is, my concentration is not very good, and sometimes you think I'll be off 4, sometimes you think I'm off 50. And that's my basic problem is concentration.
So, Pete, to help you with that, I need to ask you a question. You say you have trouble with your concentration, and I know you get tired quite quickly because of the condition.
That's
your
right.
condition. But this is a question for all of you. When you're out playing the golf on the golf course, are you actually trying to think all the time? Like, oh my God, I must be really thinking. I've just got to keep thinking as I'm walking down the fairway.
That's a good question.
Or are you just relaxing, taking in the views, and then when you get within a certain distance of the ball, it's switch on time. Now I concentrate, because it is impossible to concentrate for 4 hours. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to have a little time switch. I know when I was on tour, I'd have a time switch. Like, it's hard to believe, but I do like to chat. And so even when I'm on tour, I would like to chat to the gallery or anyone. But
wave to people.
But then when I get within a certain distance, it's like switch on. So that's when I'm going, I've had a lovely time walking down. I'm relaxed. I'm not tense.
And you're going through your routine at that point, Dee, aren't you?
I'm gathering the information then, deciding on the wind.
Critical for getting you into that. Okay, now is my time for my shot. This is where I focus. Have you all got a solid pre-shot routine?
Yep. Yes.
Everybody.
Yep.
Anybody not got a pre-shot routine that they do every single time? Shouldn't single you out.
And it becomes automatic to you.
Probably, being me, no, I don't have it a consistent.
That could be part of the problem.
Pardon?
You need to get a new
Get rid of that coach, Pete. Get that coach, Pete. Get rid of them.
No, I don't have a consistent. But when I just relax and not think about it, yes. But
that's why we practice, Pete. That's why we practice, and that's why we practice trusting as well.
Peter, how long have you played golf for?
Too long.
Oh, okay.
I started when I was 14, but I was never really trained until I really saw Dennise, and that's only recently.
When you're a newish golfer or you haven't taken it seriously very long, we haven't played for very long, you're going to be inconsistent, you know.
Yes.
You're going to find it's just part of the process of learning how to play golf. You know, we get that question all the time about being more consistent, but you're not going to be. Nobody takes up golf and is consistent. You know, it just doesn't happen. It's all part of practicing, playing more, you know, getting lessons, being patient, having a pre-shot routine, thinking positively, visualizing the shot, getting into the zone. So sometimes I think our expectations of consistency are a bit unrealistic.
They're very, you know, everyone says, and I know I did have a sign up that said I'd give you consistency, more length, because that's what everyone wants. But here is a very sad fact. Golf is a game of total inconsistency. We are never consistently the same people each day. Even the world's best golfers, I was saying this to Michelle the other day, the world's best golfers, their range from their worst round to their best round in a year is 19 shots. It's up to 19 shots. Remember Rory McIlroy in the British Open when it was in Ireland? Day 1 to day 2, what was that? Was that 19 shots or 18 shots difference? It was phenomenal. And this is the world's best, you know, one of the world's best golfers. So once we accept that we're going to be a little inconsistent, like Anne said, then what it's going to do, we're not going to beat ourselves up. We're not going to have such high expectations, be mean to ourselves and go, oh my God, I did that. Now I'm this, I'm useless, whatever. We're going to be kinder to ourselves. That's what we need to nurture ourselves no matter what level we're at golf.
Yeah.
No matter what level.
And Dennise, I might just finish off answering your question, because the other part of your question was that you feel that you're lifting up off the shot.
Oh, yes, I did today. I did today.
And Dennise, no, this is another one of our favourites, because we hear it so often that we're lifting up. And it actually, Dennise is tearing her hair out about this one. This is why I've said it, Dennise, because I want to
Dennise,
show you this graphic that we've
why are you
got together,
tearing
because
your
this is
hair
such a common thing that people think that they're lifting up when they're actually not lifting up.
Oh, I would like to know how I could stop myself from doing it.
Stop yourself.
Doing like the lifting up, or doing
The spin,
lifting body.
the kind of turning around, and
Do you
it would
not
appear that I've. Sorry.
Do you not finish balance? Because I'm not kind of get the picture. So you're spinning around, are you?
Yeah, I spin around, and I'm actually. When I will tell you, when I first started having lessons, this Japanese lady told my friend and I that we had to get our belly button to the target. And it's as if my belly button wants to hit the target all the time before I've actually hit the ball. So I'm around, and maybe my arms are not coming around at the same time.
I think if you can swing in balance, that's what's important. And if you look at Annika when she was the world's #1 player, she's very balanced on the weight. She finishes balance. But notice, like just getting back, I know it's not you, Dennise, but that head down thing drives me mental. So you look at Annika, her head is not down. Even you watch her head as she goes. So she stays level, and see how her head goes because her body's going. But have a look, Dennise, how her balance in her feet, you know, she's so beautifully balanced. So probably one of the best things you can work on is that finish, because the finish is important. And to finish in a good balanced position, standing high but in a balanced position, not with your whole feet going around. So the poor lady who told you to finish with your belly button, that could be good too, maybe, if your club was attached to your belly button, but it's not.
Well, the thing is, you know, that you do want to turn through the shots well, and Annika turns beautifully through these shots. But the reason we've got this up here on the left is because she's a classic example of not keeping your head down. She's almost turning out of the shot before she's even hit it. So this shows you that no pro keeps their head down after the shot, you know, at all. Yeah. She's almost turning up and out of it early, if anything. So if you keep your head down too long, it restricts your ability to turn properly. It makes your elbows get all crunched up.
I have a problem with the approach shot. I can lose so many points because I have this problem with the approach shot, that getting that shot onto the green, if I'm going to hit a bad shot, that's the one that's bad.
So when you say bad, tell us what's happening. Are you mishitting? Is it direction? Is it power?
I can shank it.
Right.
I can skinny it.
Right.
But it seems to be just that shot.
So is it a full swing on something? Is it a half swing on something?
No, full swing is more likely to be the awful shot.
Like with a 9-iron or something?
Yep. 9-iron pitching wedge.
And Carolyn, we know what it basically is with you. It is a little bit of a technique issue, but it's more than, it's almost the mental anxiety and the fear and the stress, I know this sounds, leads to the technical issue. And the technical issue is, and it's the technical issue for you is this, can you see me? That shank, that skinny shot, can you see, is instead of it coming this way, you tend to want to come out here. And when I come out here, now I have to, I'm either going to shank it, I'm going to chicken wing, I'm going to fall back, I'm going to do a multitude of things. But then when you, and it seems to be with you with just, you know, that particular shot in. So it's like this immense stress and tension causes the muscles in the body to tense up, and you can't play golf or any sport with tension. So it's almost like you need to get out there and practice it, but work on that. But also
go and play 9 holes and throw a ball down at that spot so 2 or 3 balls down at that spot every single hole.
Annie, how do I know if my putter is the right length?
Yes, we got a slide for you for this one, Carolyn. Great question. Does anybody else wonder if their putter's the right length for them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just go to a putter fitting.
Yes.
That's it. That's perfect. My putter's relatively short, but the reason for that is because it really kind of suits what I do. I mean, these guys both have the same length putter, and I don't like how their arms are. It's not biomechanically sound.
It actually doesn't fit either of them, does it? This putter doesn't fit either of them. Well, this is just a demonstration of how one putter, these two putters are the same length, obviously, how different they are depending on your size and shape. And so it is important to get fitted for a putter. But if you've got a putter, and I get this a lot when I teach ladies in particular, where the end of the putter's up, you know, in their tummy and getting caught up in jackets and jumpers and things, then you definitely need to get it shortened down. So you want to be able to set up with a comfortable sort of 6 inches. Dee, can you stand up? And I haven't got as much room as Dee has. So.
There are a couple of simple things you can do to get set up properly. So as I was saying, this is my 1981 putter, and I've only ever had one putter. That's because, you know, obviously
she's a very good putter still.
So one of the important things when you're putting is to get the length that you like. And now, by the way, if you're having less than 30 putts around, take no notice of what I'm saying. So it's basically, you don't want flapping arms, you don't want stiff arms. You kind of want your arms into your body so you can take out wrist action. So you can see it's going in here, arms in. Now all I'm going to do is bend the amount that I'm comfortable with, and my eyes are over the ball line. So you can see here, I'll move back maybe. Can you see me, Annie?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see I'm not like the other guy there, and I'm not out like this. I'm connected in, and my eyes are over to just inside the ball line. Now I bend over quite a lot, maybe because my putter's short, but that's just kind of the way I like it. So you can have people like Michelle Wee, who had a back really straight, but I think the connection's important. And I think what Raj said is really important. If you can get fitted, if you can't, basically have it so your arms are connected in, have it so your putter sits relatively flat on the ground, and you can line it up easily so it's not lined up crooked. Yep. And have the eyes, when I'm talking the ball line, they're there to just inside. That's 3 simple things that it's not using all the technology that's available, but it will get you a decent putter. And you don't have to spend a fortune on a great putter. You get something that's comfortable. Like this is the same one since 81.
What brand is that putter, Dee?
Oh, this is a Wilson. And it's the one, it's not the exact one that Nick Faldo won the Masters with, but it's the same brand. So this is the one I played as an amateur and as a pro.
Wow, that's an antique.
Thank you,
yeah,
guys.
it is. So am I.
Does that answer your question, Carolyn?
Perfect, thank you.
Is yours too long for you?
Well, it is kind of, and that's why my hands sort of go down the shaft a bit more. And I think now's the time to do something. That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, and you don't want to have, you know, this much putter sticking out the top of your grip if it's not comfortable, unless you got this much sticking out the top. You just want to be gripping, you know, right up to the top of the putter and have it comfortable. So if you find you've got to get comfortable, you've got to have this much out the top, it's too long. Well, that was such a lot of fun to talk to all our students, Dee, wasn't it?
It was great fun, and we want to thank them for coming on our first ever Zoom meeting.
Don't forget to subscribe to ProGolfGals channel, and you won't click the button, and you won't miss any of our new videos coming out. So here's Dee, here's to our first ever
Zoom live.
We're going to clink the glasses, Dee.
Let's clink the glasses. Clink. Cheers.
See you next time. Bye from ProGolfGals.
So here we go. Annie, like it's 5 o'clock, and
I know, where is everybody?
Always early.
I know golfers are always really early. Where is everybody? Do you think that's all having technical difficulties? Oh, hey, Dee. Oh my gosh, there's a button up here. It says 11 people are waiting to get in. Or let me click. Oh, I'll just click that. and click our glasses in the